weather impact alert for the potential of stronger storms starting late Tuesday evening. Why the more intense storms aren't likely to impact the metro area and what you need to know ahead of this system.
Getting the boot.
Have been working in earnest to get an agreement so we can make sure that we're towing all the vehicles that we need to get towed.
The city of St. Louis now taking action after a 5 on Your Side investigation exposes millions of dollars in unpaid parking tickets. Taking a bite out of crime in the Metro East.
We know that our work has contributed to the drop.
Tonight, the community effort making the streets safer. And we start 5 on Your Side at 10 with a weather impact alert. It's unseasonably warm and clear tonight, but you'll want to be weather aware 24 hours from now. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off, but let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with new information on our next severe storm threat. Scott.
And that severe storm threat looks to be mainly farther north of St. Louis as we go into tomorrow. It's been a glorious evening around St. Louis. Temperatures slowly backing out of the 70s into the 60s. Our weather impact alert doesn't begin until later tomorrow evening into the overnight hours. And even then, the threat for severe weather looks limited in the metro area. I think maybe some isolated wind damage might be the biggest threat, but it's March. We're in severe weather season. You want to know your severe weather plan. It's time to get that back in your mind. We already started that process last week, but the thing you need to do for tomorrow night is just stay aware of what's going on. Live radar is always there. It's always 24/7 for you, 5.6 over the air, also streaming for you on our app. Now, there's two areas tomorrow into tomorrow night that have our concern. One is northeast Missouri up into central portions of Illinois, northwest Indiana, the other down in Texas. Obviously, we would be more concerned with what we see developing up to our north. But there are caveats here. We may not see thunderstorms get going during the day. It may be later in the evening. And the longer we wait to see those storms get going, the less likely it is we see significant severe weather close to us. For the most part, I think we're dealing with mainly partly to mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. We'll really start ramping things up as we head towards midnight and a little bit after. But at that point, I also think our severe weather threat is starting to go down. We'll still be close to 70 or so around midnight tomorrow night. We will continue to track this, and I'll be back in a few minutes with the changes that come after this weather system.
Scott and the Weather Impact team will provide constant updates on our free streaming app until this storm threat is over. You can also stream the radar 24/7. That app is free. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download. You can also get the latest weather impact forecast right to your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. Right now, a man is in critical condition after he was shot in the throat in North St. Louis. The shooting happened about 3 hours ago near the intersection of Ashland and Warren. That's right by Farragut Elementary School. Investigators on scene tell 5 on Your Side a car drove by and someone shot a young man twice. The victim's age has not yet been released. No arrests have been made. An update tonight on a 5 on Your Side investigation exposing millions of dollars in unpaid parking tickets in the city of St. Louis. This week, the treasurer's office started booting and towing cars in violation. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski is live downtown tonight, where the mayor and the treasurer talked about parking enforcement just hours ago.
Mike, it is official. The St. Louis treasurer did confirm with me tonight they are booting and towing vehicles. It's something they haven't done since 2018. And the mayor also spoke with the treasurer tonight at a downtown neighborhood association meeting about the issues.
The City of St. Louis Streets Department says they received word on Thursday that the treasurer's office started putting boots on cars with unpaid parking tickets. On Friday, the Streets Department towed 2 cars, and on Monday, they towed 3.
We're in week 2. We're working really well with the Streets Department, who does the towing portion of it, so it's going pretty well.
Right now, the City Streets Department and the Treasurer's Office don't have an official agreement for towing.
We have been working in earnest to get an agreement so we can make sure that we're towing all the vehicles that we need to get towed.
What we decided to do is, because we do see the urgency of moving forward, we're just operating under the current city code.
The Treasurer's Office is in charge of ticketing and booting cars at metered spaces and city-run paid parking lots in downtown St. St. Louis. Treasurer Adam Lane says if you have at least 4 fully matured parking tickets, your car can be booted and towed. If a car is not claimed after 35 days, it goes to auction. Lane says they want a clause in the agreement that gives them a portion of the money from the auction.
So it's looking at making sure that a portion of that revenue goes to cover that parking debt.
But the Streets Department says they can't do that because auction money is supposed to go to the general fund. On Monday, City Towing hauled off an orange Charger near 10th and Olive. It had been sitting there for several months and had been reported by area residents as derelict and abandoned. While we were there, the owner of the car showed up and spoke with the tow truck driver, trying to explain it wasn't abandoned despite knocked out windows and damage to the front end. He was visibly upset and harshly declined to do an interview. One of his friends spoke with me off camera saying things were hard right now and his car had been broken into several times. But ultimately, the tow truck driver still had to do his job.
Tonight, the St. Louis Treasurer handed out information to everybody who was at the meeting about who to call when you have certain parking violations. They say to call parking enforcement for meter and sign violations or illegally parked vehicles, and then call the Streets Department for dangerous or derelict vehicles. But all of the issues can be reported to the Citizen Service Bureau. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a Metro East man is awaiting sentencing in a murder-for-hire plot. A judge found Gary Johnson guilty today on 2 counts of first-degree murder immediately after he waived his right to a jury trial. Prosecutors say Johnson shot and killed Portia Rowland outside her Collinsville home last year. Investigators allege Sammy Schaefer Jr., the husband of Rowland's girlfriend, paid $10,000 for the killing. Johnson faces 25 years to life in prison when he's sentenced on April 23rd. Schaefer is still waiting a new trial date. Marty Shaw, who's accused of being Johnson's getaway driver, will go to trial next month. Tonight, a new wave of community collaboration is helping reduce crime in the Metro East. Homicides in East St. Louis recently dropped to their lowest level in nearly 50 years. Brent Solomon reports that community leaders say the progress means the work can't stop now.
Can't stop now. You know, even with population dropping in East St. Louis and surrounding areas, leaders there say the factors that lead to crime haven't gone anywhere. That's why boots on the ground efforts are working harder than ever to keep moving the needle.
In the Metro East, the color orange is becoming a symbol of safety. These are the street teams of the Metro East Organizing Coalition, or MEOC. Since 2021, they've expanded their reach, going door to door, teaching de-escalation in areas where crime has hit hard.
Our street team goes out into the communities to create presence, to create relationships in the communities. We want the people to call us before they call the police.
The numbers tell a staggering story. In 2019, East St. Louis saw 36 homicides. Last year, that number dropped to 15, the lowest in 45 years. Non-fatal shootings are also down from 127 in 2020 to just 50 last year.
We've seen upwards of 38% reduction in violent crimes. If we could make 38%, reduction in violence in a place like East St. Louis, with 20% of the work being funded, what could we do with more funding?
Trayvon Jones, a Marine veteran who returned home after 14 years to help his community, says the secret is collaboration.
It's important for us to continue to work with law enforcement. We don't get brutalized by our police officers, and I think mostly because they're neighbors of ours, or they have been trained to treat us like neighbors.
That trust is paying off. The clearance rate for homicides improved last year, with law enforcement solving 15 cases in 2025. One neighbor tells me he credits the drop to officers getting to know the people they serve.
We got to keep going. That's just a marker to let us know that we're on the right track.
Now, come May 8th, community groups will rally at the Illinois State Capitol to advocate for gun reform. MEOC, the group you just heard from, operates with a 10-person street team, and they could always use more volunteers. If you'd like to help, you can find the information in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
A judge in Springfield, Missouri is now deciding whether to throw out the criminal case against St. Louis County Executive Sam Page. He was indicted last year for using public funds on a flyer about Proposition B. His lawyers call it selective prosecution, claiming dozens of other Missouri governments did the same thing and nobody charged them with the crime.
This is a prosecution without precedent. I've been working in prosecution for 24 years now. And with the exception of what I see at the national level, I've never seen anything like this.
Right now, the judge has delayed the March 23rd trial until June. Page has decided not to run for re-election. Former Missouri House Speaker John Deal will spend 21 months in prison for stealing COVID relief money. A federal judge handed down that sentence today. Deal admitted to taking more than $370,000 in small business administration loans. Prosecutors say he used that money on luxury cars, country club dues, and legal fees from a 2015 sexting scandal that led to his resignation. Tonight, a Metro East community is voicing concerns after new testing reveals their drinking water is contaminated with human waste. The city of Cahokia Heights has spent millions trying to fix sewage problems that has plagued the town for years. However, a legal firm recently took samples from dozens of homes and detected E. coli in 8 samples.
No one should have to live like this. We can't brush our teeth. We can't cook, we can't wash our clothes, and sad to say, we can't shower and wash our bodies. So we are now, and I speak for myself as well, washing your face with bottled water, brushing your teeth with bottled water. Excuse my French, if you want to call it a spit bath, take a spit bath with bottled water.
An attorney for Cahokia Heights tells 5 on Your Side tests taken at the same time by the Illinois EPA showed no bacteria in the drinking water. Well, some sad news tonight. The wife of City SC star player Edward Leuven has died. Ilona Leuven passed away this morning after a 2-year battle with brain cancer. The club posted today that she was a, quote, beautiful example of love, humility, and kindness, and will be deeply missed. She was 28 years old. Finishing the fury on Iran.
We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all. And
tonight, the president's promise to Americans worried about security and skyrocketing gas prices. A student prank turned tragic.
It's awful that it happened.
A beloved teacher is dead, why his family says charging his students is not justice.
Near record highs again Tuesday, leading into our weather impact alert for Tuesday night, when thunderstorms might be a problem for some in the bi-state region, and what you need to do tomorrow before dinner time.
A major recall alert that could affect your ride. So Ford says its Explorer and Escape models, as well as its Lincoln Aviator, have faulty windshield wiper motors, which could basically just stop working randomly and then really cut your visibility behind the wheel when that rain hits. So this recall actually affects models from 2020 to 2022. You can take it to a dealership for a free repair.
Tonight, a memorial is growing outside of Georgia High School for a teacher killed during a student prank. Police say the group of teens was throwing toilet paper on Jason Hughes' yard on Saturday night. When Hughes came outside, he tripped and fell into the road as the students were pulling away. They ended up running him over. The students tried to help, but he died at the hospital.
I think he was connected through a lot of people, and I think it's taken a toll on a lot of the community because he was very, very big in the community. He was always just, he was very social with people, and he was always at events, and he was always just cheering people on.
An 18-year-old student faces vehicular homicide charges. 4 others face misdemeanors. The family wants the charges dropped, saying Hughes knew the students were coming and was excited to catch them in the act. Now to the latest in the ongoing war in Iran. Tonight, strikes and counterstrikes continue to light up the Middle East. Just hours ago, President Donald Trump called the conflict a short-term excursion that's almost complete. This could be a sigh of relief for Americans dealing with spiking gas prices. However, as Sherelle Hubbard reports, Iran says it's in this for the long haul.
On the 10th day of the Iran war, President Donald Trump updated reporters on Operation Epic Fury.
It's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership.
While Trump signaled that the conflict may be short-lived and said U.S. goals in Iran are near complete, a top Iranian official told CNN in an interview that Tehran is prepared for a long war.
We are not dependent on any other country for weapons and arms.
The son of previous Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed at the beginning of the conflict, is now the newly selected leader of Iran. A pick Trump had previously stated would be unacceptable and a big mistake.
I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem for the country.
The conflict spooking investors and causing global markets to sink before rallying, as fear of ongoing violence could cause a severe disruption to energy supply, as U.S. and Israeli airstrikes are targeting and destroying oil facilities in Iran, and vessels carrying oil through the Strait of Hormuz have halted. When questioned about the spike in oil and gas prices, the president downplayed concerns.
We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families.
Sherelle Hubbard, 5 on your side.
After soaring above $100 per barrel overnight, oil prices have come down significantly in the last few hours to about $85. However, gas prices remained high, and analysts say it could be weeks before you see relief at the pump. The national average jumped nearly 50 cents in the last week to $3.47. That's just a few cents more than what drivers on the Metro East are paying. In St. Louis, the average is $3.07 a gallon. All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the weather impact forecast, and we're talking about the weather impact alert tomorrow night.
For tomorrow night and going into early Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, not because of severe weather, but we think there's going to be some widespread rain in the area, potentially some downpours, ponding on the roads, that sort of thing. And temperatures will be falling Wednesday in the 50s Wednesday afternoon with a pretty stiff breeze. We're in the mid-80s tomorrow. That'll set the stage for that potential some thunderstorms tomorrow night. Not everybody is going to see them. The best chances for strong to severe thunderstorms remain to our north. Tuesday evening into the overnight hours, we're thinking by 2 or 3 o'clock that the odds of seeing severe weather certainly drop off. Isolated wind damage seems to be the biggest threat. I think farther northeast Missouri, up into portions of central Illinois, there is a greater threat for seeing some tornadoes as well as some large hail, but that's not a lock there as well. Just stay aware. Get another forecast update tomorrow morning with Gary. Check back with us tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and of course we'll be here all night tomorrow night. Tracking this area here across the north, this is the level 3 out of 5 risk. That is across northeast Missouri into central Illinois. It's mostly out of the St. Louis area. St. Louis is level 2. Again, if the storms develop, and it's more likely north and northwest of St. Louis, then we will have the potential of some of those higher end severe weather threats, including tornadoes. But you look at the radar imagery here, forecast from Futurecast, and you don't see a whole lot developing to our north and west during the day tomorrow into early tomorrow evening. By 8, 9 o'clock, we start to pick up some showers and storms along the front. They don't look especially intense. Certainly, they'll have some gusty winds, most likely below severe limits, and some downpours, and that'll take us into Wednesday morning as well. Some more downpours through the area and the potential of really slowing the rush hour down. Again, I think our main threat would be for some isolated wind damage. I don't see this as being widespread, but again, you can always stream the radar 24/7. It's streaming on our app. It's also on 5.6 if you get it over the air. Right now in St. Louis, we do have a few clouds starting to drift in. Still 70 degrees. Our high today was 78. We're only dropping into the lower 60s tonight. So with that warm start, if you will, for tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to take off. We're in the 60s out the door early. We'll be back into the 80s for highs tomorrow, just shy of the record. And yes, gusty winds throughout the day out of the south and southwest. We should stay dry during the day. It just won't be as bright as today. And then for tomorrow night into the early hours on Wednesday, we'll have that chance for showers and thunderstorms. Now, here's the get-go. If you get up early on Wednesday, it's going to be still in the 60s. If you're, say, coming home, you leave at 6 and you come home at 4, it'll be about 54 degrees, and there'll be a stiff breeze. We're in the 50s Thursday. Over the weekend, it looks like maybe a few more showers towards Sunday, and then some sub-freezing temperatures early next week.
Go down again.
It's March.
Yeah, I guess we're used to it in St. Louis.
Yes.
Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, the Cardinals and Blues both have a potential phenom. The Chiefs got their running back, and we're playing hit and run with Kellen Thames.
new deck of cards is proudly sponsored by Don's Garage Doors.
Things you can't comprehend in life: how the pyramids were built, daylight savings time, why they made a Godfather 3, and how the Cardinals season is beginning in just 70 days. What? Didn't the season just end? It's just beginning for this phenom, J.J. Weatherholt. He homered today against the Orioles in a 7-2 win. Get this, a .480 on-base percentage and a nearly 1,100 OPS in the spring. J.J. could be the best thing to hit our town since toasted ravioli.
A lot of home runs have been going to left field this spring, but his was very distinct. I mean, there was no doubt about it. And for him to have opposite field power is something I'm sure that the Cardinals would like to have. Didn't expect to see it, but now they see it. Now they know he's capable of doing it.
Patriotism on display in Houston for the World Baseball Classic, USA versus Mexico, and the best American-born player, Aaron Judge, unleashes pure, unadulterated power. A two-run shot. USA wins it 5-3. As we speak on this Monday, the St. Louis Blues have a 5% chance of making the playoffs. So I'm telling you, there's a chance. No reason to be sarcastic. They are playing their best hockey of the season. In last night's 4-0 win over the Ducks, 21-year-old Jimmy Snuggerud lit the lamp for his 12th goal. Like with Weatherholt in baseball, Snuggerud in hockey will be special in St. Louis.
I just see his all-around game. Everybody sees his shot because that's what he's known for. Some of the passes, some of the skating he's doing, he's beating up icing.
It's a no-look pass. He knows.
Ville University is going dancing. The women's team defeated UMSL on Sunday in the day. And at night, they got the news they'll be playing Grand Valley State in the NCAA tournament, the #1 seed. The Saints say they're celebrating the moment, but gearing up for the first round.
From last year being in a championship and losing, just like I really had that taste in my mouth that I just wanted to win this game.
We've been able to recruit very special girls, and we have made this team just our own with our culture.
The Chiefs' culture just got better. Kansas City signed the first great running back in the Patrick Mahomes era. Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker inked a 3-year deal worth $43 million with $28 million guaranteed. Walker topped 1,300 yards from scrimmage this season, and it was a monster in the postseason with over 400 yards. On Mondays, we play Hit and Run with a celebrity. It's rapid-fire Q&A with no hedging allowed. Tonight, we play with the Billiken Human Highlight film. Kellen Thames.
McCautry feeds it for Thames. Oh, my goodness.
Craziest dunk of your career, whether in a game or just on a playground?
Probably a behind the back where I wrapped it behind my back and then dunked it.
Your dad scored 1,400 points at Mizzou. If he was 22 and you're 22, who would win?
Me.
What a drive. He ties the game, the freshman from Jennings.
You've seen video of your dad at his best. What do you say when you see those skills?
It just passed down. It's in the family blood, and I'm just able to just inherit those skills.
Coach Schertz is funny in a sarcastic sort of way. What's the funniest thing or the nastiest thing he's either said to you or one of your teammates?
Like you'll make a free throw and he'll be like, "Good job, you made one today."
Best part of staying home for school?
Home cooked meals. Home cooked meals for sure.
I don't want to give away your leverage here, but percentage chance that you return to SLU next season?
I would say above 50, hopefully.
Old school NBA guy that you'd like to watch a video of?
Penny Hardaway.
How many different hairstyles have you had this season?
About 4 or 5.
Steal by Kellen.
Your best vertical jump ever?
44 inches.
Wow. And what would you want a Billiken fan to say about Kellen Thames' career at the end of your career?
Somebody that was just relentless, that played hard, had a chip on his shoulder every time he stepped on the floor.
You know, it's interesting because both the Billiken coaches he played for, Travis Ford and Josh Schertz, have both told me, yeah, I would adopt him. That's how much they love him.
Well, he is so electric when you get to watch him. Frank, thanks. It's a match made in Missouri. The new brew hoping to lure fishermen. 314 Day is Saturday. However, the city is celebrating civic pride with events and deals all week, and we've compiled a full list. Just text 314 to 314-425-5355, and we'll send it to your phone. Beer and fishing go hand in hand, and that's why two Missouri brands are teaming up. Busch Light is out with limited edition cans celebrating Bass Pro Shops. They're also launching a contest called Bass Bank. Anglers can submit their best fishing tricks and inventions, and the winner will receive $15,000 and a year's worth of Busch Light. All right, Scott has a final check of the weather impact forecast and our weather impact alert.
Yeah, and I think, tomorrow during the day, there's no problems. It's windy, it's warm. We're in the low to mid 80s, near record highs. Tomorrow evening, your chance for thunderstorms will ramp up. Think the chance is greater. Think Bowling Green up towards Springfield, Quincy, Hannibal, and points north during the early evening hours. I don't think we're getting anything in St. Louis or in the metro area until along about 10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow night, if not a little later. And by that time, I think it's settling down some. We still should have some rain lingering for the morning rush hour on Wednesday.
And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on your phone and TV. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4:30 a.m. and have a great and safe tomorrow.